Oh, hello. I'm the Crypto Crow. Listen, we're going to be doing something a little more involved today. I'm actually waiting for a transfer to complete right now on the very fast Ethereum blockchain. Just totally kidding. But anyway, this is going to be a paid video. Okay. Now I did a video recently about the Essentia DeFi platform, their wallet, and everything that they've got going on. And I was pretty favorable in that review. It wasn't even really a review. It was just kind of a segment video, but that was a paid segment. And this is a paid segment. But what ended up happening is after that video, you can see the price went crazy. And all I did was say that I liked it. I thought this was a cool platform with some promise. And it just like all the numbers just went nuts. And so I don't know if it was me. I don't know if they have other stuff going on. I don't know what the case was. But they did come back and they said, hey, we'd really like Crow to set up a masternode and show people how it's done. And I'm like, okay. And they paid me a bunch of money to do it. I'm not going to lie. They paid me, full disclaimer, Essentia paid me 9.394723 Ethereum for this video. Okay. Now, that's not to say that I didn't like the original. I didn't like the platform then, and I still think the platform's cool now. As a matter of fact, they fixed some things. They fixed some things that I made note of. So I'm like happy to see that they were on it. So what I've done is, this is actually what's been the price action. It's currently sitting at 0.008637. It's up 1.35% on the 24-hour, I'm pretty sure. And this is the platform. So if you go to Essentia.one, all these links are going to be in the description of this video, of course. The first thing you're going to want to do is get the Essentia app. So you'll click that button and you can download it on either Mac, Windows, or Linux. Okay. Once you've downloaded the application, at that point, I would suggest creating a new wallet. So you're going to create your account. And once you've created your account, you'll have your Essentia address in there. You have other stuff. Now, before I get into some of the how-tos, I'm going to read some of this guide, because this guide is also going to be linked in the description. So if I lose you for whatever reason during this video, at least you're going to know what's happening. Now, I've already done some things, and I'm going to explain it on the platform. I've got the window open here. I just don't have it on here yet. I will in a second. But anyway, so here's some questions. Why would you want to run the Essentia Masternode? So here's a couple things. The highest APY in the industry at 164% for a Mercury node, and only 100,000 ESS tokens are required. Right now, the ESS tokens, so they paid me Ethereum to do it. And then I also told them, well, you got to send me the tokens to set up a masternode as well. And so they did that. They sent me 104,378 tokens. Current value of those tokens is $930. So to set up a masternode, it's about $930 or around $8. Actually, I think the actual price, because they sent me a few more tokens than needed. So between $800 and $900. Okay. And the price will fluctuate. Now that price might go up after this video. I don't know. We'll see. One of the things is, how is it 164%? How does that make sense? And basically, the rewards are distributed amongst the masternode operators based on the number of nodes there are. So the fewer the number of nodes, and I think, right, I can't remember the exact number, but there aren't that many nodes running. They're kind of slowly picking up in growth as to the number of nodes. But the fewer the nodes there are, the more the payout is for each one of them. So the earlier people get in, the more rewards they're able to generate. And that's pretty much the same with any masternode. But it's also one of those things that getting into a masternode early can generate significantly more yield than coming in late to the game, right? At like 0.009 cents, it's still pretty early to the game. These guys are just getting started. So with the one-click masternode auto deploy, you can install a node in a matter of seconds. Running a masternode is an effortless opportunity to receive passive income. Now, a lot of you guys know I've been running a Divi masternode. Actually, I had multiple Divi masternodes running for a long time. I love playing with masternodes. I played with different ones, and I am kind of excited to get this set up and see what happens, because I don't know, there just aren't that many masternodes in the DeFi space. And this masternode token actually runs a pretty significant platform. I mean, they're more features are going to be launching on Essentia, so I can see this becoming a more widely used thing. So having a masternode early on could be a benefit. I don't know 100%. Regardless, it's kind of a cheap, fun thing that you can get into. And if you've never set up a masternode before, this might be a good gateway for you. But do your own research. Don't follow me just because I'm doing something. I am being paid to do this. I probably wouldn't be doing it. I wouldn't be doing this particular video if I didn't think the platform was cool and kind of worthwhile. But I could be full of shit. So make up your own mind, do your own research. But here we go. So creating the Essentia account, I've already done this. Number one, create the Essentia desktop account. I just created a new account and I didn't import an existing wallet. With new platforms, and I'm not saying this specifically towards Essentia. I'm saying this specifically for any platform you're not 100% familiar with a long-term track record of security and this and that. Create a new wallet within the platform, I think, is likely going to be a little safer than importing a wallet that already has all kinds of stuff on it. That's just my personal take. That's how I feel. I opt for like I always say, the stuff I have to do to be secure is insane. I mean, it really is annoying and it gets me frustrated. And some days I just don't do anything because I don't want to mess with any of the bullshit. All right. So, you know, I've learned that the easier it is for you to access and do certain things, the easier it is for somebody else who's probably a lot smarter than you. Okay. Meaning me, right? So that's what I think about. A lot of these hackers, a lot of these people, they're smarter than I am. So I have to really go out of my way to try and hopefully stay a step ahead, right? So anyway, that was kind of long-winded, but you get the point. Overall, the point is, be secure. Let any company that you're working with, especially a newly developed platform or whatever, let them earn your trust before you just throw caution to the wind, import a bunch of wallets with like billions of dollars of Ethereum. You just never know 100%, right? Nobody does. We don't. So anyway, create a new wallet, all right? And if you have ESS tokens on your, maybe you got 20 different wallets, who knows, but you got some ESS tokens, you can easily send those to this new wallet, right? And then start your swaps and your staking or your masternode. So here we go. I'm going to skip the import wallet because that's just not what I do. I created a new wallet and then I just sent the ESS tokens over to that wallet. From there, you're going to want to do a swap. So you probably bought the tokens maybe on Uniswap or something like that. You've got them on your wallet. Now you're sitting here. They're on your Essentia wallet. In order to launch the masternode, you're going to have to do a token swap because you have to transfer those tokens to the ESSX token. All right. That's the masternode token that you need. So when you've done that, you're going to say, okay, the token swap. In order to start the masternode, you'll need to swap the tokens for coins. Below you will find a detailed guide on how to do that. Select the Essentia ERC20 token tied to the wallet you wish to swap and hit the token swap button. All right. So once you've done that, you're going to convert your tokens into the ESSX and you're going to need 100,000 of these to complete the node. All right. However, there's also going to be an additional tokenized fee to cover the server, the bandwidth. Okay. I know like in Divi, you just PayPal it. Like you set up it's like a PayPal payment. It comes out every month. I think it's like $10 a month or something like that for the masternode server. These guys you're able to just pay for it in their token. So that's actually kind of cool, I gotta say. Check your transaction, make sure it's all gone through. Usually the swap is executed within 1 to 2 minutes. However, if the blockchain is loaded with lots of transactions, it may take a little longer than it's expected. I've seen this not with the Essentia token, but just across the board. Anytime you're doing token swaps, it's like a free-for-all. You never know how long it's going to take. Sometimes it's instant. Sometimes it can take like an hour. I mean, you just never really know. The masternode deploy. Go to your wallet. You will see a deploy masternode button. Click on it. Deploy another masternode. Note, if it's your first masternode, the button will say deploy a masternode. You will get this pop-up. Enter the name of your masternode as well as the server subscription timeline. Click set up a masternode. So we're going to read this as the fine print. In order to deploy a masternode, you need to pay for the server first. The sum includes 100,000 ESS X tokens for the masternode, plus the server timeline fees. We do not collect any personal information, hence we can only remind you to renew the server payment directly in the Essentia application. In case the server payment is not made in time, your node will be shut off. The sum of the collateral transaction as well as your earned rewards will be sent to your wallet address. And then once that's done, so you can set it up for 30 days. So apparently on here, 30 days is going to run 1,117 ESSX tokens. So we'll see how that translates when we do it on our end. Keep in mind, I haven't set up the masternode yet. I'm literally doing it on this video here in just a minute. I just want to walk you through the steps so you have a bit of a guide. And then the link for this guide will be in the description. While the masternode is setting up, you will see the in progress status. When you hover on it, you will see what steps you are on at the moment. That's actually pretty slick. I'm actually looking forward to see this. I don't know what it is. I just really do like masternodes. I like the idea of being able to buy a token and just, you know, like my Cardano. I mean, you delegate it to a node and you just get more. I just like that. It's like a dividend, or it's like, you know, I don't know. I just dig it. When the masternode is up, the status will change to active. This takes approximately 20 minutes. So obviously I'm gonna have to skip ahead in this video at some point. As you can see the screenshot below, you can find the information about the next server payment to make, how many rewards you have earned, and the status of the node. The time of the masternode setup depends on the network load and might take up to 1 to 2 hours on the busiest days. If you click on the 3 dots to the right, you'll be able to pay for the server, withdraw rewards, stop the node, get the hash of the masternode, get the masternode address. So typically, so you know it takes 100,000 ESS tokens converted or swapped into ESSX. So you know, okay, you know, maybe after a week of running a node, you can kind of get an idea as to how long will it take me to accumulate enough tokens to launch a second node and a third node and so forth and so on, which is a lot of what masternode operators do. They just keep reinvesting their rewards back into additional nodes, compounding what they're generating over time. So, you know, and here's the thing. I wouldn't consider this even this, because there are, like, I don't know how many masternodes there are nowadays. But masternodes are only really worthwhile if the token they represent have function or use case or utility outside of just setting up a masternode. It's like I can say, you know, here's a cap, and if you hold this in your hand long enough, you'll have 2 caps. But if these caps do jack shit, it's worthless. What's the point? What's the point in putting in the time, the money, and everything? So you might want to go back and check my original video on the Essentia platform to understand why running a masternode for Essentia could potentially be worthwhile. All right, not saying it is 100% because I just don't know 100%. But I know that based on what they're building, what they're doing, the team, the advisors, and everybody else, it could be worthwhile. Regardless, it's cheap to try, it's cheap to get into, and we're just having some fun with it. So we're going to take a look at the platform itself. Pitty pow pow. There it is. So there's my wallet. And this is all kind of my demonstration account, if you will. So I haven't done the token swap yet. I'll be real curious. I do have $150 worth of Ethereum. I pray to God that the fees aren't higher than that for the token swap, whatever else I need to do. But we're going to do that. So I have, you'll see here, I have 104,378 ESS tokens. Okay, the token balance is worth about $931 right now. So I'm going to click token swap. Okay, I think. All right. It's just I've noticed that you have to like click stuff sometimes to get the refresh. It doesn't happen dynamically, it looks like. So anyway, I'm gonna swap these out. Gas fast, why not? It's gonna cost me $52.40 for the swap. Let's just see what happens. Essentia token swap. Here you can choose the wallet to receive the tokens. Started swap, and here we go. Okay. So as you can see behind me, the process is finally completed. It's taken at least 15 minutes. I'm gonna have to see, but I'm pretty sure it's taken at least 15 minutes. I've been sitting here watching this thing, And not a lot has been changing, not a lot has been happening. It started with like initiating, and it started going through different things, but I'm like clicking around like, okay, what's happening? And then it said participated, and then it said redeemed or whatever, right? And I'm like, at one point I watched my Ethereum balance, which is what I was paying fees out of, go to 0. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? And then I waited like another minute, and then I'm like clicking around, and then it refreshed, and then I saw, okay, it's taking fees out. Okay, so it's like, it's doing its thing, taking fees. Basically, the long and short of it is, it was a little nerve-wracking because I don't know exactly what to expect. Finally, it said it was redeemed, and I'm looking and I'm like, where are the tokens? And I'm like clicking, and I'm like trying to refresh everything, and nothing's showing up. Then finally, boom, the tokens, the ESX tokens finally showed up. So, and I'm not telling you this to troll, I'm telling you this so that you know, just wait. Once you've started the token swap, just go get coffee, go eat lunch, go do something. It might be quick, but if there's a lot of congestion on the network, it's going to take a little while, and a lot of weird things are going to happen that are probably going to make your heart stop for a second, because I'm paid to do this, and I still get freaked out anytime. So I'm like, ooh, what's happening? Why did that go to 0? Where'd the money go? What's up? So just know it's just working. The token swap is just kind of working. So that all being said, here are the tokens. So we're going to click Masternode. No active masternodes. We're going to click deploy a node. And how many tokens do we have? So we've got 4,377 extras. Let me see. How long can I run this for? Let's say 90 days. 110. All right, so I can run this node with the tokens I have, which is well, like 100 and something of that is like leftover Ethereum. So this is how much we've got. A fee to maintain the node, and yes. Why won't it let, oh, I have to create a name. So I'm gonna name my masternode Crows ESS. Can I put a space in? Crows ESS node. Let's make some tokens. Set up masternode. In progress. That's it. Pretty simple. The most strenuous part was swapping the daggone tokens, to be honest. So that's it. So now this is in progress and deployment confirmed. And I guess, you know, it could take another 20 minutes or so until the node setup has been complete. And then from here, it's just about maintaining that node. So, you know, I'm running this node for 110 days off of about 4,300 extra ESSX tokens. And so I'll update people. I'll let you know, like, I've made this many tokens in this amount of time. I'll update people every now and then. I'm sure the Essentia folks are going to be like, hey, Crow, how about an update? So this is their way of getting me to like talk about it in the future. So it's still moving, it's still doing things. So I mean, but that's ultimately it. From here, it's just letting the node run and have fun with it. Listen, I really do like masternodes. Everybody knows this. I used to do a lot of videos on masternodes in the past. This is pretty simple. I mean, it really doesn't get much easier than this. The only node that I think I set up that was just as easy was Divi. I mean, I probably shouldn't talk about another masternode, but that's another token that it's like really cheap, and there are a lot of different tiers of nodes you can set up. Just getting into masternodes is fun because, to me, you buy some tokens, you set up your masternode, and you just start getting rewarded. And to me, that's just a fun time. It's like a passive income stream. You know, people talk about, was it Digibyte? I know Superman used to talk a lot about wanting to set up a Digibyte masternode. I think it was Digibyte, or was it something else? I can't remember. A Dash masternode. That's what it was. And I think at the time to start a Dash Masternode at the low was around 80 grand. Now, granted, if you set up one when it was cheaper, because I think it takes like 10,000 coins. I think they're like $80 a piece at a time. And like, look at it now. I mean, the profitability of a good masternode with a strong use case and a lot of good potential, it can be very, very fruitful to get into from the ground up. From the ground floor. And, you know, Essentia could be one of those. I don't know, because it hasn't done a whole lot yet. It is still just getting started. But I've got my masternode. I'm going to let it go, and we're going to see what happens. So crow your coins, folks, and I'll see you again soon, and hopefully with a good update.